I've been making it a point every week to try to watch some film of the Jaguars defense, even if I don't get to watch every possession. Certainly, they put a shock early into the NFL world and the Eagles. I think they were up 12-0 at one point. The Eagles, of course, blew past them and won the game, kind of convincingly. But Devin Lloyd had 14 tackles against the Eagles. I can't wait till the All 22 film comes out. I had planned a film study on him, already. My midweek is going to be quite busy, so I'm going to go ahead and push this one out now. I have 12 plays, I think 12 plays of Devin Lloyd early in the season. Of course, he was AFC Defensive Rookie of the Month. I think 24 tackles, 2 interceptions. I think he had a fumble recovery yesterday against the Eagles. He's playing amazing. Devin Lloyd is disciplined, aware, very smart. Like, you'll see an example here, I think, of the same play concept twice. And the Jags, I believe, are in two different coverages. And Devin Lloyd understands that he has to kind of react a little differently based on the coverage. I think it's a super skill set that he's got physically. The awareness, I think, is off the charts. I thought that watching him at Utah last year, particularly his pass drops. He's got 6 pass deflections already, guys, and 2 interceptions. One of them is a tipped pass against the Chargers. Okay, so, that was lucky. That was fortuitous. Fine. But you're talking about a guy who's around the football against the run and the pass. And speed-wise, let me rephrase that. Range, I'm going to show you a play where he doesn't even make the tackle. He gets credit for it, but he doesn't really make the tackle. And just incredible range. I would say he's got range like a safety. The Jags are putting together some pieces there. Josh Allen, Trayvon Walker. I think the D tackles are underrated. Devin Lloyd, I think, is incredible. I felt like I knew he was going to be good from watching the film last year. Not trying to cast stones or anything, but watching the film last year and doing some previews for the draft, I felt like it was obvious that he was a better player than Nakobe Dean. I'm rooting for Nakobe Dean. I hope Nakobe Dean gets a shot. To my knowledge, there's 2 guys in Philadelphia that are better than him that are starting right now and playing well, but I could be wrong in that. I haven't watched a ton of Eagles defensive film for real. But Devin Lloyd, has proven a lot of us right in terms of his performance, in terms of his impact, and the technique, man. Let's look at 12 plays here. This is going to be a sack against Washington on a stunt. And Devin Lloyd, he's committed, guys. Like, he's committed to the angle. He's committed to what they're telling him. I think he's being coached really well. He's doing everything right, man. He's doing everything right. They've slammed these guys down a gap. They're bringing a DB off the edge. So they're getting him wide open through the B gap. So, yeah, it's a nice call. It's a nice stunt. It's basically 4 weak, but Devin Lloyd has to be committed to it, makes the sack on Carson Wentz. You can do so much with Devin Lloyd. And I think someone smarter than me said that in the draft previews and draft lead up. I can't remember who it was at this point. Inside linebackers, have to be able to defend the pass. They have to be patient. And in my opinion, even though this is a deflected pass, like the short-sighted people, which apparently there's a lot of them out there, are going to say this is a deflected pass. He didn't do anything. No, what he did, forgive me if the video's choppy, what he did, and you'll get the end zone angle, for a moment he looked out here to see if there was anything threatening him. You know why? Because he understood that this corner was going to be out here in the flats. He understood that there was someone responsible for this area here. So he's able to stay on top and look for, maybe stay in a window of a deep curl, or look for someone, bringing their route back to the inside later in the progression. Again, forgive the video if it's kind of choppy. I'm not sure why he's doing that. But you get the end zone angle, and you'll see his helmet. Look at his helmet as the play starts, as the play progresses. So this is Devin Lloyd right here. 6'2". Maybe you could say he's kind of light, but he'll get bigger as he gets older. So look at the depth that he's got. Yeah, the ball could certainly be caught by the running back, but watch as he reads pass. So he's going to see this open B gap. He knows his pass. He's going to be getting in his pass drop quite quick and then looking to the side. He's looking for work. He's looking for something that's going to threaten this hook area. He's got nothing, so he sits. And when the ball is deflected, he's in position, able to recover because he has depth, right? He does not look like a guy who's going to get short depth and then get over routes and dig routes thrown over the top of him. All right, a fantastic play. I think that's Lloyd right there. It's a jet sweep to the top side. Now, the Jags are rolling a safety up, but they're not running someone across in man. So I want to point that out for a reason here. As this guy goes across, it's not like they're running across in man. Devin Lloyd makes a great read, has the athletic ability to go ahead and run here inside out. Look at his angle that he's got. I'm not giving you the end zone angle of this one, so forgive me. Look at his angle. He's not overrunning this. The safety who rolled up, is his job to get outside of this lead blocker, and he almost kind of starts to lose his leverage, but Devin Lloyd's so athletic he's able to dive in here and finish the play off. Athletic player, speed, great burst, awareness, complete package. All right, somewhat similar, but a little bit different play in that you have the same motion going across, but now you've got a DB running with that motion. So the Jaguars, in terms of numbers, because that's what defense is really about, it's just matching numbers pre-snap by alignment and then matching numbers in the run game, whichever side the ball is run to, and then matching numbers in the pass game, putting appropriate number of people in the space that is being attacked. Look at the fit. Now, 23 does a great job, too, to be honest with you. 23 is the other guy that plays a lot inside linebacker. I know they have Chad Muma. I don't really know much about him. I know he's a pretty good player. I know that Devin Lloyd is not going with this motion at all. He's not respecting it at all. And then he's fitting perfectly on the back side of this. I think you can get the end zone angle, too, because I want to show you what 23 does. But they're taking Jahan Dotson on the back side, and they're trying to hunt him to the inside linebacker here. So they're giving him a lot. He's getting this motion here, and then they're trying to hunt him with the backside X receiver, maybe seal him off so this running back can, cut this thing back. And when you get the end zone angle, you'll see a little bit better, illustration of the angle that he takes. And yeah, he is unblocked in terms of the offensive lineman level. It's possible that he will be unblocked often with that defensive line that they have there in Jacksonville. Jet motion doesn't scare him at all here. Fits on the backside perfectly, finishes the play off. Let's go ahead and call out 23. Does a nice job. He's got a big lineman attacking him. Maybe he's a little bit undersized inside linebacker too. He don't look as small as Lloyd to me in terms of overall weight. But two plays in a row where you got jet motion, and he played it essentially in two different manners. He's the backside linebacker on the next couple of plays, so he's the top inside linebacker there. Run flow is going to come down here to the bottom. He's excellent at staying on the backside hip of the run. Now, yeah, it's like a 5-yard gain, okay? But he's excellent at staying on the backside hip, not overrunning this thing and then creating, a backside cutback, something like that. I love his style. I love his technique. If you had the end zone angle here, you would see, well, you can see it here as well. There's the running back's helmet. So let's try to draw a perpendicular line to the line of scrimmage. Look at he's staying on the back. He's not on the backside hip. He's actually 2 yards, off the backside hip. Yeah, it's still a 5-yard gain, but point is Devin Lloyd knows where to fit. He's a great talent. Great talent. Here he is here. You're going to get this outside zone concept away from them with a split action or split flow by the running backs. Again, 3, 4, 5-yard gain, but Devin Lloyd's able to stay on the backside of the running backs and be there when they try to make their cut. You want to limit run action, to 4 or 5 yards as a cat. That might have been a little more actually, but I'm just showing you how Devin Lloyd fits stuff. And then now we're going to show you some beautiful pass drops. I think it's the complete package here, and this is frustrating for a quarterback to deal with. You have a young inside, I think he's 24, a young inside linebacker who won't take the bait. So he's going to get depth in his drop. There's going to be an underneath route that he does not take, meaning he does not jump it. He gets great depth, understands that he don't even have to look, right? That if something's going under, he's probably got, stuff behind him developing in that area of the field. They're trying to clear that area, get him out of there. Watch this play. First of all, yes, you do have two receivers kind of, quote, running into each other, whatever. If you want to make huge commentary about that, go right ahead. Devin Lloyd is capable of defending the run at him. He's capable of defending the run away from him. Play action pass, he responds appropriately. He takes great pass drops. He gets in the quarterback's line of vision. And then he covers people man to man. Here's Devin Lloyd. I think that's a tight end, number 7. I don't know the Chargers personnel at this point, to be honest with you, that well. It looked like pre-snap he had something communicated to him from the safety. Yeah, it looks like that tight end's got him a little bit beat, but he plays like a safety on this. He understands when to put his hands up in the air and when to challenge. He just turned his head to get his ear, because there's holes in that helmet, to get his ear hole so that he can hear what this guy is saying. He's not turning and saying anything to this corner. This corner's locked in. They understand it. It's man, man, and man. You can do this when you have an inside linebacker like Devin Lloyd. You can't do this with certain inside linebackers who just don't have that skill set. This is a unique player, a rare player. I did not see this, to be honest with you, at Utah. They didn't ask him to do that a whole lot. If you don't know, at Utah, he played, inside linebacker, these two positions here a lot. And then sometimes on pass downs, they would put him at edge and rush him. What's going to be crazy to me is if at some point the Jaguars do that with him a little bit. They don't need to. They got Trayvon Walker. They got Josh Allen. They got Arden Key. But the versatility and the effectiveness within each role is off the charts for Devin Lloyd, if you ask me. So far, there's no film. No film exists. Well, I shouldn't say no film exists of him making mistakes, because I'm going to show you 2 plays here, but I'm going to show you here 2 plays at the end that he doesn't play great. This is a zone drop where he makes a tackle out in space. Yeah, it's like a 5 or 6 yard gain, but watch where Devin Lloyd comes from. And if Devin Lloyd isn't there, again, in some ways I want you to think of him like a safety, because he makes these tackles sometimes out in space, whereas if he's not there, there is not a third level to the defense that's going to support quickly enough. He's going to drop out of here. The Jaguars are zone dropping a D end or D tackle. They're also dropping Lloyd out of there. And you got leverage. I mean, you've got an NFL receiver running across the field. And catching the football, Devin Lloyd's able to make the tackle immediately. Brilliant player, if you ask me. All right, this one's going to show his range. Doesn't have a real impressive tackle here. In fact, I think he gets credit for the tackle, but really just because of the sideline. Carson Wentz escapes pressure. Probably should have been a sack. So right now we have a situation where this running back got to like the 35. That's Devin Lloyd laying down there. Let's see where he came from. And you guys let me know if you're as impressed by this as I am. He's an NFL football player, so he's top 1% of the top 1% in terms of athletes anyway. Carson Wentz looks like he's getting ready to be sacked. Devin Lloyd is located on the other hash. Lloyd escapes the pressure, the quarterback Wentz escapes this pressure, and Lloyd is already moving in this direction. Clearly, you want this tackle to be made by this DB. Point is, schematically or conceptually, let's put it that way, Devin Lloyd is capable of making tackles in a way that a safety does, covering up for mistakes from someone else in an area of the field. This is the key thing here. That's not his to cover anyway. This is not his area to cover if we accept that this looks like cover 3. Okay? Depending on the route schemes, it may not actually be cover 3. Sometimes post-snap, things end up looking like one thing when they were not. But, pre-snap, it didn't look like cover 3, but it certainly does now. They've dropped Trayvon Walker back into the flats. You definitely have what looks like a hook-to-curl dropper. If Devin Lloyd is a hook-to-curl dropper, then he should probably actually be here. And this looks like a curl flat with a 1/3 player, a free safety, a 1/3 player. Not exact distribution, if you ask me, not a perfect distribution. Looks like cover 3. He should not be all the way out here making that tackle at the 35, in my opinion. You guys let me know what you think of Devin Lloyd, man. Occasionally you get plays with rookies that, you want them to be a little bit more aggressive. You got linemen free releasing right up to his face. That's the only situations where I have seen anything that looks like reduced effectiveness from Devin Lloyd. Old school trap concept here. back block there. Both of these linemen are going to free release. What free release means is no D lineman touches him. And they're going to trap this D tackle here. They're going to trap this this three technique. Old school trap play. Beautiful play. Look, you got a free release left guard up there, free release tackle in his face. You know, if you want to be real critical, you say, hey, Devin Lloyd, you got to blow that guy up. Well, Devin Lloyd looks like to me he's about 235. That lineman looks like he's about 335. I'm not sure how Devin Lloyd's going to blow him up and impact this play for real. What I do know is he does fight off the blocker and he does make the tackle. Last play, just to bring some balance to it, it's possible that he's responsible for the running back here. Jaguars bringing a lot of heat, bringing a lot of pressure. No one checks this running back at all. He ends up getting in the end zone. But guys, this is an anomaly. You know, I'm a huge fan of Devin Lloyd. In my videos, I'm trying to bring some balance to him. I never know what kind of content Baldy's putting out there. So sometimes I try to put in some of these plays at the end, hoping that the content can at least stretch out to 10 or 12 minutes. We're at like 16 here. I love this player, Devin Lloyd, and I think Jaguars fans should too, man. I don't know what else you can ask him to do other than put him at the edge sometimes like Utah did and let him rush the passer. I mean, he had sacks at Utah as an edge player, and I'm not sure if you guys know that. I mean, ask him to cover a receiver, ask him to cover a running back. Unbelievable player. What a great start to the season for Devin Lloyd. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Rookie of the Month. Now the leading candidate for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Previously had been his teammate Trayvon Walker. You got to give the Jaguars credit, man, for assembling a young, athletic, fast, aggressive, and smart defensive front. Let me know if you're as high on Devin Lloyd and the way he's played so far. I'm sure that some people, because draft previews, prognostication is, it's a crapshoot. Sometimes I like a player and somebody else don't, and that player ends up, being a bust. And that's just the way it is. Sometimes, the players work out in their first, second, third year, but Devin Lloyd has hit the ground running in Jacksonville, and that defense looks like it's going places behind him, Trayvon Walker, Josh Allen, and others. Appreciate you guys' time. Let me know if you enjoy this content. If you think other NFL or Jags fans would enjoy this content, please consider sharing this film study on social media.